Kerry Mussington, that's my name for those in the community with mental health. Understanding the underlying issues that create depression, anxiety and fear. So today, all my memories come up. And looking at those memories, I suppose many of you get those as well. Many of you get the memories that come up where this is what you did last year. So you're looking at these memories and it saddened me. It really got me a little bit sad. And I looked, I thought, yep, because I have one of those little ones that flash people's faces every 5 minutes. There's different people to show the progression of what I was doing. But when I look now and I stop now and I think now and I think to myself, where are they all? Where are these people that said to me, I love you, I adore you, you're the best, you're everything? Where are all of these people that come and go? And I'm sure that many of you will probably have that same question for yourselves. How does people just come, take, and then go? Are we manipulated into for people getting what they want and then taking what they need and then leaving, and you don't even know that it was for their own agenda? Or maybe it wasn't. You see, the way I look at it is when you meet people, people are passing. They're in it for the right reasons at the beginning, but those reasons are not for what they actually think it is. I'm here sometimes for some reason. On the intervention scale, somebody stops, listens to something that I have to say, which has helped them through some kind of crisis that they've been in. My job's done then, right? When the crisis comes through and you talk and you work with these people and then they leave, they're not leaving on good terms, trust me. People that have left my life have left on bad terms. They've taken what they want and they've left. How have I felt? Well, hold on a minute. I'm a person as well. And as much as other people are looking for the same thing, companionship, someone to talk to, I have been too, throughout my life. I've come away from my past. And I think when you come away from your past, you're going to go to the unknown. And when you go to the unknown, it's pretty blinking scary. Because you don't know anyone. All those past friendships that you had have gone. So meeting new people, that's the challenge. And again, will you allow someone to get close to you? And it's that getting close to you where you want to give your all. You want to be yourself. But some people just take, and in the process of taking, they take you down too. And what I mean is taking you down is what they did have good to say about you. When people leave, they don't. They go blabbing and causing a reputation for you. So you fight twice as hard to solve that reputation. I'm not what they said I am. I'm better than what they said I am. And this is what happened and blah, blah, blah. And you give all of these reasons. Again, people part because they part. Nobody is responsible for somebody else. You're accountable for your feelings and your own happiness. But if somebody else is affecting that, then surely you have to think and take stock and think, why am I putting myself through this? What is it out here in this world that you can do for yourself to make you feel better? I know there's a lot of people out there that feel lonely. Trust me, I feel lonely. Really feel lonely. There are people around my life, yes. But that's only on a device. Does that make sense? Unless I go and reach out and I go and visit. And I was saying this to a good friend of mine, and that's who I class as good friends. Those people that they don't take, they're there when you need them, vice versa. But there's no expectations. They don't put you down. You've never had an argument with them, and they've been nothing but highly supportive. Those are the people I can say, brilliant. Because nobody wants to be arguing around when you call people friends. But I do think, and I stop and I look and I think, God, this is so lonely. Why is it lonely? Why is life so lonely? Because if I'm not working, then I'm lonely. But I'm not lonely. You see, this is the difference, isn't it? I have to stop and I think, is it loneliness or am I bored? I like to talk. I think that's what it is. I like to talk a lot. It's not so much lonely. Can I like my own company? I do, but I like to talk. I like to explore the world. And I think that's where a lot of us are bored. And when we're bored, we've got too much time to think about things that went wrong. We've got too much time to home in on, oh, why didn't they like me? Why did they leave? Why did this? People leave, not necessarily because of you, because it's part of their journey, not yours. Even though you think it's about you, it isn't, not always. It's a part of their journey, something that they had to learn, something that they needed to get to move on to the next stage. I know that. You know, because many of times throughout our lives, what we've done, we've knocked on the door, Samaritans, mental health, doctors, friend, neighbour. We have asked someone to listen. And that is what is important. Did you listen to someone when they needed you? Did you comprehend them and understand them when they needed you to understand? I think sometimes communicating with people is difficult because you'll say one thing, they'll encounter it another way, or vice versa. And so if you're writing text messages to someone, right, they could literally be taken the wrong way. If you're doing a voice message, it's quite more clear. It's a better way of communicating. But basically, the loneliness comes from boredom. I think I've taken time out, you see. I've taken time out. And I think since there was an incident, I kind of backtracked a little bit on myself, thinking, I don't want to get close to anyone anymore. But that's a shame, isn't it? Because everyone is not, everyone's different. And your past shouldn't play a part of your future, but it does, unfortunately. And if we don't listen to those red flags and we don't listen to that gut instinct, then we're bound to make another mistake. I used to say it's not mistakes, it's part of the learning curve, it's part of the journey, something you learn. There's only so many times you can fall down that same hole. And if you're going to keep falling down the same hole and making the same errors or whatever else, then you're not learning nothing from it. Okay, so you're lonely. Are you really? The people that matter to me, call me. And if I leave it to the outside world to get in touch with me, that doesn't happen, okay? I find myself chase. And when I'm chasing, I then get disappointed because I want to back off. And many of you would do this as well. We want to back off and you say, you know what, I'm not going to keep making the effort. But if we don't do it, then we lose. But we can't keep chasing, can we? Because it's devaluing us. So I think if people don't want to lose friends, and people want respect, and people want to know what it feels like to be respected and to be honoured, then it's a two-way journey. How often should you stay in touch with a friend or an associate? Because this is the dangerous part. When we do back off and we don't stay in touch, because we take that attitude, well, they're not bothering with us, I'm not bothering with them. I guarantee you now, I did that once. I backed right off until I had a child. My mum needs you. Your mum needs me. Wow. Yes, she's in a really bad state. She's going through psycho. They didn't know that. Kids didn't know what it was. Psychosis, alcoholism, kids almost going to lose care. You know what? I was a part to blame for that. You know why? I never stayed in touch with a person that mattered to me. I took that stance of, well, if they're not going to make the effort, I'm not either. And I didn't know what they were going through. But they didn't know what I was going through either. That's why we keep taking the stance. So it's important to realise, I think, when you're speaking to people, how often do you really want to stay in touch with someone where they know you're going to call them? Where they know they're not feeling they're rejected, or because people got a funny way of looking at life thinking they're to blame for everything all the time. If they don't hear from someone, they think they've done something wrong. And personally, we can take things very personal, and I know we shouldn't, but we do, because that's off the scar tissue that happened many years before. And if we can't learn something from that scar tissue, then we're going to keep doing it, aren't we? So I think my boundaries are, anybody want me? You'll find me on Facebook. I don't need friends. I need supporters in what I'm doing, and that is awareness, and that is to save life as much as I can put it. Because I've got people that I care for, and trust. I think I'm not here to make friends on this earth. I think I'm here to make sure that somebody got something out of my mouth. They got that knowledge to get them to where they need to go. I'm not saying I'm a Wonder Woman, but I'm saying I'm packed with knowledge because of my past experiences. Friends, boyfriends, husbands, life now is very confusing for me because I'm just at this journey of, I think when your mum, yeah, and I think when your children grow up and they leave, that's when we don't know what to do. We're supposed to start our life and venture off and do everything. But, it's all different now, isn't it? So I think I plunge myself more into education and courses and qualifications. And that way, when all of these people, past people, yeah, when they're finished with me, they say to me, I'm not professional. They also say to me, these are all horrible words that I've had put at myself, and I'll say that's rubbish because my work speaks for itself. That will say, they use things against me when they want to let go. So you will hear horrible words, but it's not about me, it's about them. But some people use horrible words against you to make you feel like you're shit. And I have had, since starting mental health awareness, Real Talk, since doing that and helping people, I've had people that perhaps I trusted because I knew of. And so when you bring them into the arena that you're in, some people are just out to destroy you deliberately, and I didn't see that coming, you see. So these red flags are about time management. How much time and energy you're going to keep giving to people. And if people are going to keep tearing you down, honey, if you like that, you're going to keep going back for that. If you don't like that, then you will change your circumstances. And I know that many of you are scared and want to change the circumstances that you're probably in already. And I know that's going to take courage. I know, especially if you're in relationships and you want to get out of relationships as well. You don't know what to do. You don't know, you're more thinking about them than you're thinking about yourself. And that's the problem. We don't put ourselves first. We worry about what next week looked like, what tomorrow looks like, what somebody else is going to say. Well, I look at it this way. When you're in four walls and it's you, yourself and I, right, particularly you, if you've got children, of course you've got to manage them, of course, and time manage them. And make sure, please, that you try and date your children as well. And I don't mean that disrespectfully. I don't mean that like, oh, I've got to go out and pay lots of money. I know there's a lot of children out there that don't even sit down and have a cup of tea or a little date with their parents. They're feeling alone. They're feeling isolated. They feel like they're misunderstood, most of all. And if you're one of those parents screaming and shouting at your kids, think twice on that one, all right? Think twice. Okay? And I always said that talking out, speaking out saves lives and support saves more. What does my tomorrows look like? So I've come to the point where I go on a wobbly when I've got nothing to do. I'm waiting, you see, I'm waiting for that transformation. And I think that's where I overanalyze and overthink. So to keep myself busy as something I must do. To keep myself busy, but learn to manage my time. So weekends, I have that time off, so I can have me time. During the week, I allow myself to speak to other people and listen to their problems and give them direction to the things that they need. And it works. And it's quite nice to be right, to be right and to be thanked for it. And that's what I appreciate, because when someone says, oh, I made a difference, then that gives me more breath to carry on, because there are times where I just want to say, I think we've all felt like that. And I can't do that. I'm a role model now. I've got grandparents, you know what I mean? I'm a grandmother. I am and a parent. Although my kids are grown up, I've still got responsibilities. So I'm not happy to stay with the same knowledge. I am always willing to try and enhance my knowledge to make a difference to somebody else's life. If I had my way, because of all the crap that comes to me, because people are good to shoot me down in their mouth and belittle me and cyberbullying me and things like that, That doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, I take care of it. But if I had my way, really, really had my way, if I wasn't working for a higher power, I'd be doing what I used to do, sit on my ass and do nothing. Because the outside world is hard. People hurt you. They bully you. They pick on you. They tell you you're not good enough. But you know what? I am good enough. And you're good enough. And you know what? As long as you can keep telling yourself that and reminding yourself of that and doing something with your life, you will benefit. Trust me, you don't have to have things where you're just sitting down all the time watching TV. You can enhance your life. And enhancing your life with knowledge, you do meet new people along the way. And they are people that are like-minded, going the similar way to where you're going. And sometimes you're a tool, as I said. You'll take something from them, I'll take something from them, vice versa, and you'll go along your way. You do have hurdles in between. You go up and down like a yo-yo, I get that. I never pretended to anybody that I was cured. I deal and live with what I live with. My disability, but I have an ability to still use my brains and move forward. That's my distraction technique, you know. My knowledge, gaining knowledge in education has been my distraction technique, and it pulls me away from that depression. The only time I hit the depression again is when I'm being bullied. Honestly, it is so hard to keep being trampled on and then get up to be trampled on again, and vice versa. And you'll think, oh, what are you doing? Well, surely, if I did nothing, nobody could hurt me. Nobody can touch me, and I would be protected. But because I'm doing something, and I'm different, and I use my voice, and some people like it, and some people are flat out bloody well jealous that they would turn around and destroy you. Try. But then you've got to know when you're in the line of business that I'm in that, you know what, don't take it personal. It's all part of behaviour problems. And that's a key element, isn't it? Looking at behaviour, even my own, to look at the behaviour. But most of all, you know what bothers me about me? I've had my life of bringing in the kids, bringing the grandkids now. What bothers me is the youth, is the kids that are sitting in four walls, parents on the other side, and there's nothing but arguments. Those are the things that bother me. There are men out there that need their ass seen to, literally, with a verbal conversation of what they're doing to women mentally out there. There are women out there that need a verbal conversation of what they are mentally doing to men out there. And these are people's children, right? And trust me when I say to this, that people's mouths are so manipulated, bothers me. And I'll tell you what's worse for me. Yeah, what's worse for me is when people use their kids as a blinking weapon. That's worse for me. So I'm going to be educating on parent alienation, domestic abuse, domestic violence, manipulation, and those jailers. That's what I'm going to be doing. And I'm going to leave it on that note, because they can come in the shape of anybody, right? Horrible stuff can come in the shape of anyone. Even those you don't expect, you know, along your journey. You get on a bus and someone could be cruel to you, you know? So you've got to learn how to handle that temper. And I think that's the be-all and end-all when it comes to mental health. And those people that may not have that label, but they've certainly got another label, which could be an abuser or something like that. There are different labels, okay? So maybe if they haven't got a mental health label and they're doing damage, perhaps at the end of the day there's a behaviour problem that hasn't been diagnosed or hasn't been addressed. So I cannot wait to get my feet into the Freedom Programme facilitator and help many people out there, and the families, most of all, families, to help those children, to help those mothers, single women, definitely men. I want to help the men as well. The men do not get enough help, and I feel that the men are equally bullied by women as well. So It works both ways. And I think what's needed is those workshops to provide that identification, or what you can look at, what you need to identify, but there needs to be a resolve as well. I guess that's what the Mom Project's quite good at. Mind Over Matter is quite good at providing some support along the way into other avenues. So I'm quite proud. You know, people keep saying, go on, keep up the good work. Okay. Take care. Hi. You know, I look at people's posts and I read their posts. Some are very encouraging. And I want to say thank you for everyone that writes something back to myself, comments on any of my posts, and actually puts any posts into the group as well. Thank you so much. On that note, I am going to love you and leave you. That's another word, isn't it? Love. It's not an easy word to just say out to people, but you can actually use it in a terminology. Love you and leave you now, yeah? All the best, my loves. You take care of yourselves. Don't let anyone keep you down. I said keep you down, okay? We don't stay down, we get up. But what we do with that time, though, is we'll either go in a shell, or we'll stand proud, head up, and we'll face the world. Let's not hibernate. We have to get through this world somehow. Explore it. Take care. Bye-bye.